Right, so hi, welcome back to my channel. This isn't the video I had originally planned on filming, but this is the video that you're getting because I just didn't really want to film the other one, basically. So a while ago on TikTok, I did a series on how to find your perfect university. I also then typed that up into a blog post because some people find that format easier, but I've thought of new things to say since then, and also no one reads my blog, so I thought I would do it in a video because more people are on YouTube than there are on WordPress, basically. So yeah. So obviously I'm in year 13, I'm going to university in September, so I've picked my university, I've done all of that stuff, I've done the UCAS application, I've got my place, I've done all of that stuff. If you're in year 12 currently, you won't have the same experience that I had doing all of the university stuff. I went to open days. You can't really go to open days. You know, year 12 is going to miss out on a lot of rubbish because of COVID. So I thought I would do this, which may or may not help current year 12s, but hopefully it will help year 11s once they move into year 12 and that kind of thing. So I'm basically going to do a video on how to find your perfect university, how to find the university that you actually want to go to. Basically, when I was trying to look for my perfect university, I really struggled. I didn't understand how people could kind of narrow it down, considering I think there's 113 universities in the UK. I'm probably wrong, that might just be in England, I've got no idea. But there's a lot of universities, and there's also a lot of courses. So having to find a university that I liked, that did my course, that felt right for me, was very hard. Even narrowing it down to the 6 that I went to open days for felt impossible. I was like, how am I supposed to decide without having seen them? But also, I don't want to go to like 20 open days. I did eventually find the one that I liked, but it did take some time, really did. So one of the probably best places to start would probably be location. So let's say you live in London, you're very happy in London, you think that is where you want to go to university. You've narrowed down your search to only London universities already. You've narrowed it down quite significantly. Say you're in Nottingham and you really don't want to go that far. You're thinking, oh, I could maybe go an hour each way. Get a little map, draw a 1 hour circle around it. Your university is within that circle. Very simple. I didn't do this, but I knew before I was looking, I didn't want to go too far. I mean, I did look at Exeter, which is 4 hours away, but we all make mistakes. So yeah, work out how far you want to go. You might be someone that doesn't care about location, and that's obviously not going to narrow it down for you, but it's still good to know that you're not bothered. You would happily travel all the way up to Scotland, or you'd happily go abroad, or you'd happily go really close, like you're not bothered about location. But some people, like me, want to be close to home. I want to be able to come home and visit my mum. Some people don't want to be that far away, and that is perfectly fine. Work out how far you're willing to go, how far are you comfortable travelling. And then also, here's another thing. Let's say you're London and you've thought, oh, Nottingham, perfect distance from me. I'm just using those two as an example because they're the first places I thought of. Then, is Nottingham the right size for you? Are you happy going from London to Nottingham? Is that the right size city for you? Is Nottingham a city? But yeah, do you want to go, like, are you happy in a small place? Would you rather be somewhere small or would you rather be somewhere big? That's another thing to consider. Like, if you're going to go to London, it's a big, busy place. Like, regardless of what university you go to, even if you go to a small university in London, London's a busy place. You will be in a very busy location. But also, say you're in London and you're going to go to a university in Nottingham, work out how long it will take you to get back from Nottingham to London. So say you want to come home for Christmas, which is what most people do. How long is it going to take you to get from Nottingham to London? Have a look at trains, have a look at buses, coaches, and have a look at driving. How will you get home, and is that okay for you? Like, if you're looking at somewhere really far away and you don't think you'll be able to get home, that is going to be an issue. Like, think about these things. Then after you've kind of narrowed it down to a brief location, it doesn't have to be that specific, just, oh, I kind of want to go northeast, or I don't really want to be here, or I want to go in the south, that kind of thing. Have a look at the league tables, and yeah, you're thinking, no, league tables aren't really relevant, but sometimes they're quite helpful. Obviously the rankings, you know, you don't really care about them, but obviously part of you does because you want the validation of saying, oh, I go to a top 10 university, and that kind of thing. That is just how it is. We all crave validation, it's okay. But also, league tables will tell you student satisfaction, employment rates, oh, like UCAS entry points, that kind of thing. So if you're looking at somewhere that has a very low student satisfaction, do you want to go there? Like, if it's got really bad employment rates after university, you know, that can help you narrow it down. So you've got your circle, you've got your radius, You've ticked off all these universities that, yeah, these are okay. Then you look on the league table. Oh, some of them are awful. Gone. If they've got poor student satisfaction, poor teaching rates, you might not want to go there. I'm not saying for sure, because some of these ratings, you know, they might not be an accurate reflection of the university, but still, it's worth having a look. I'm not saying base everything on a league table, but it is worth having a look at them because they are helpful. So then a very obviously important thing, grades. So basically, from this video, I'm assuming you've picked the course you want to study. If you haven't, go find another video, this isn't going to help you. So you've got the course you want to study. What grades do you need for that course? So you're looking at all these universities. Oh, this place needs A star AA. You're only being predicted BBB. Is that something you can get? So universities will tend to give you a conditional offer if you're one grade above or below the entry requirement grades. So say you're getting BBB and they need ABB, you'll probably get a conditional offer. But if you're getting BBB and they need A star AA, it's unlikely that you're going to get an offer. And you have to be realistic. But also think, is it really worth applying somewhere that I might not get in? Like, I'm not saying don't apply, because it might be nice. Like, it might be the place you really want to go and you might be able to do that on results day. But can you do it? Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Apply for more than one university. Do not, it's barely a jump up in cost to apply for more than one university. So please just do it. So if you are getting BBB and you are going to apply for somewhere that's A star AA, AAA, that kind of thing, apply for other places that have lower grades. Because if you're getting BBB and you're only applying for places that are getting AAA, how many offers are you realistically going to get? You have to be brutal. You have to think, am I actually going to do this on results day? Am I actually going to get in? How big is the chance that I can get into this university? Don't apply places you can't get in, because it is a waste of an application. You could apply somewhere else. Even if you don't want to go, you know that you can have a backup option. Like, if you fail all of your A star AA sections and you apply somewhere that's ABB, you kind of know that you've got that safety net. So you know the course you want to do, you've kind of narrowed it down a bit. Look at all of the modules for your course. Right, so say we're down to 10 universities, have a look at your course. Have a big research on what your course is about and everything. Look at the optional modules. I personally very much wanted to do optional modules, and 3 of the places I applied did not do optional modules in first year. The place that I chose did. That is part of the reason that I chose it, because I wanted the freedom to kind of pick and choose what I wanted to study. Some people might really want optional modules, so look if they do optional modules, and also look, do they have optional modules you like? They might do optional modules, but you might hate them all. You can find all of this information online. Before I even applied, I found all of the optional modules that they did. I found all of the content for the modules, and I already knew what modules I liked. But yeah, I printed out a list of all of the modules in each university and just highlighted the ones that I liked and then kind of added it up. So, oh, University A, there's 5 modules I like. University B, there's 12. You know, University B is going to be slightly more appealing because there's actually more you want to study. You are paying them $9.5 grand basically. You want to actually enjoy what you're doing, because if not, you will drop out. So yeah, look at the optional modules. Will you be happy studying the modules that they provide? Or do you just kind of like the university but you don't actually like the modules? You're there for the degree. Study it. Want to study it. So another thing that isn't applicable for everyone but is quite helpful, money. So go on the student finance website, do the calculator thing, work out how much you're going to get. Is that enough for you to live off? Then go on all the universities that you've looked at. Do they have bursaries? Do they have scholarships? What are you eligible for? Some places will give a £1,000 bursary, some places will give a £2,000 bursary, some places won't really do a bursary, some places will do scholarships, some places won't. What are you eligible for money wise? It's always worth looking. There's no harm in having a look. The information is all there. You can very easily find what you need to find, and it doesn't take long. This is your future. Even if it was going to take long, this is your future. This is the next 3 to 5 years of your life. Spend your time researching. But yeah, have a look at the money, work out, look at the accommodation costs as well. That's my next section. But what can you afford? Can you afford to live if you go to that city? Look at the cost of living in that city or town or area. Can you afford it realistically? So then, accommodation. Accommodation is where you live. pretty self-explanatory. What will you be able to afford with the maintenance loan you're given? Obviously the maintenance loan calculator is just kind of an estimate, but my estimate was pretty accurate to what I ended up getting, so it is worth doing. Then look, what accommodation can you afford and what accommodation do you want? If you are absolutely adamant that you need an ensuite, but University A, you cannot afford the ensuite, would you rather go to University A and have the shared bathroom, or would you rather go to University B, which you maybe don't like as much, but you can get the ensuite that you really want? Obviously accommodation is not the most important thing, but some people really need specific things in their accommodation. If you're disabled, do they have the right accommodation for you? Can you get to the accommodation? Is it going to work for you? But yeah, have a look at what options they've got. Have a look at how much it costs. Compare the prices. Is it worth it? So University A might have really expensive accommodation and you prefer it. Then when you work that out, can you still afford to live? Is it worth going to the one that you prefer, even though it's slightly more expensive? Like, will you still be able to stay alive, to eat, and all of that kind of stuff? This is stuff that people don't tend to think about. Next up, it might just be worth, have a look at the city. Do you like the city, the town, the area that you are going to be living in? Because you will be there for 3 years as a minimum. Do you like it enough to live there? Say you're living somewhere really big, do you want to stay somewhere really big, or are you happy going somewhere small? If you're from a small town, will you be able to cope moving to London? Look at that, but also look at what is around you. Are there things that you can do? I printed off a map of the kind of area around my university and looked at things that you don't tend to think about, like what supermarkets are there? Can I get to the supermarket from my accommodation? You don't think about this, but you need to be able to get to a supermarket because you need to eat. So have a look around. If you're going to want to go to a gym, is there a gym nearby? Is there transport links? Can you get a bus somewhere? Can you get a train back home? Have a look at that kind of thing because it is important and it is worth looking at because you have got the time. Next up, just have a look at the university in general. The university will have a website, obviously. Go on the website, have a browse. What information do they have? Do they have mental health support? Do they have physical health support? Have a look at what they've got. So have a look at what they can offer for you. So if you have a mental health problem and you think, oh, I'm not going to cope well at university, will your university be able to cope with you? Will they be able to give you the support that you need to cope there? Because that is something important. You will not do well at university if your mental health is not good. And if your university cannot support your mental health, is it worth going? Will you just be wasting 3 years doing a degree that you can't really focus on because you're unwell? Next up, have a look at just like the general things. Do they have a gym? Do they have a cinema? What kind of student union events do they have? What societies do they have? Have a look. What things do they do? What societies do they do? Do they do societies that you actually want to join? Do they do clubs that you want to join? Do they have sports teams that you want to join? Do they have a gym that works, that looks good? If you're someone that's going to go to the gym a lot, look at the gym. If you're someone that swims competitively, do they have a swimming pool? Because you're going to want that. But yeah, just do your research. It could take a while, but this is your future. Like, you do want to spend the time on it because it is your life. The university website is quite helpful. You can also, I think it's UniBuddy, I'm not sure, but you can chat to students at that university. Even if they're not doing the degree that you want to do, you can have a chat with them and ask them, oh, is the accommodation nice? What do you recommend me looking at first? Or was there anything that you didn't like at the university? Look at that. They've also normally got like quotes from students. Obviously the quotes are going to try and reflect the university in the best light, but have a look at the quotes, and if they say, oh, this was really good, have a look at that. Is that something that you want? I think that is pretty much it for this video. It is going to be probably not that long. I will link the blog post that I've done on this topic down below. If you fancy reading it, it does just basically say the same thing, but some people might prefer to read it so they can copy and paste it over and have it in front of them instead of having to listen and that kind of thing. But yeah, that is basically it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. If you didn't, sorry, but find another video, I guess. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please don't be mean to me. This is just my advice. I'm not a professional. This is just what I would have wanted to hear.